Hi everyone, Anthony Santano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review of this new Logic mixtape, Bobby Tarantino III. This is a new formal installment in the Bobby Tarantino mixtape series from rapper, songwriter, singer, producer Logic, which arrives, of course, long after the announcement of Logic's retirement last year, his retirement from music. What arrived after that announcement was presumably going to be his last record, No Pressure. So that album dropped, and then we entered what we thought was going to be retirement mode, but Logic's retirement didn't feel quite like a retirement. He was still dropping some music, streaming on Twitch somewhat regularly, and of course he was operating for a moment under this alternate Doc D persona. It didn't really feel like he was done or finished with much of anything during this point of time. It was more like he was just kind of making music and making content more on his own terms, which is cool, but not quite the vanishing act many thought it would be. But then, just like a month ago, Logic announced his return to putting out commercial music with this little intro single, and then a series of tracks that would eventually end up being featured on this tape, which honestly, after having heard it, it does not feel like a very exciting return. Bobby Tarantino III doesn't so much feel like, I'm back! It's more like a whispered, I'm back, after arriving 20 minutes late to a college lecture, which you've missed like the last 3 or 4 of, meaning Bobby Tarantino III feels super low stakes, because there are just a lot of forgettable and derivative tracks on this thing that I don't foresee sticking around for very long. The song My Way sounds like a glitzy, somewhat reverb-heavy take on the current emo rap trend, with Logic yelping like Trippie Redd over some acoustic guitars. It's not really great. Kind of difficult to listen to, honestly, because the singing isn't quite there. Then God Might Judge, the intro of the track, Logic hypes this up as being like a Kanye-esque song, maybe because of the soul chops or something, but once the flow and the beat drops, it pretty much just sounds like a Drake song, with some really horny bars. This track is packed with horny lyrics. It's really a sex / shower you with compliments type track, which is somewhat awkward until we hit this comatose beat switch in the second half, after which it gets really awkward. The track Vaccine is a quick, fast-flowing lyrical banger with a tight trap beat, which is underscored by some heavy sub bass, also some fantastic like group chants. But it's only one of a few somewhat strong bops on this tape, because a lot of the material on Bobby Tarantino III is mellow to the point of sleep induction. The song Get Up, for example, which I admit is admirable in its message of persevering, carrying on. It's also a show of Logic's refocus on his family and loved ones, but I'd be lying if I didn't admit that the instrumental here is like super breezy, toothless, and not really evoking much of anything. I have similar feelings about the track Call Me too. The song Inside is kind of low-key as well, but lyrically we see Logic going into much darker and introspective places topically, diving into his feelings and anxieties and apprehensions around making music, performing, entertaining his haters and detractors. But after a single verse and a kind of sweet guest vocal passage, the song just kind of coasts out into nothing. Definitely one of the more under-structured moments on this tape. See You Space Cowboy is kind of a highlight, as it has a banger intro, transitions with a beat switch into a jazz rap second phase, and then we have a lot of ranting and spoken word from Logic about his mindset going back into releasing music, which he boils down mostly to waking up one day and deciding that he just wants to start rapping again. He doesn't over-explain it, which I guess is fine, because doing that could lead to a host of other issues. But I gotta say that returning in such an inconsequential way does kind of vaporize a lot of the good faith that he built over that course of time, announcing the retirement and putting out No Pressure and making everything seem so final. Overall, Bobby Tarantino III is not just a soft return, but the softest return. There are so many bland, uninteresting, and frankly understructured tracks on this thing, half-baked tracks. Clearly, Logic did not go into this trying to overextend himself. Outside of a few tracks being okay, the only positive thing I can say about this tape is that most likely it will make whatever Logic's next album is sound good by comparison. I just hope this casual lack of ambition isn't going to be the mark of Logic's material past this post-retirement point. Feeling a strong 3 to a light 4 on this one. Transition, have you given this project a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You're the best, you're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like. Please subscribe and please don't cry. Hit the bell as well. Over here next to my head, it's another review that you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, Bobby Tarantino III, forever.